guys, so today we're gonna start making my homemade mac and cheese. Right from the jump, I just want to make a little note that the brands that I use in this video are actually what you need. So I'm not gonna suggest you substitute anything because I've tried making it with another type of cream, another type of cheddar, and it just didn't work. So I'm giving you guys the exact brands and a close-up of them. I shop at Longo's. It's a Canadian kind of Whole Foods style store. But yeah, let's get into this homemade mac and cheese. This is the best mac and cheese you will ever taste in your life. It's like a craft dinner. I kid you not, creamy, cheesy, but just 10 out of 10. So I'll start by chopping all of my onion, and that's just kind of diced. It doesn't have to be crazy. It kind of cooks down into the butter, so you don't even taste it in the sauce. It just gives that extra seasoned flavor. Then I cube all of my cheddar. The cheddar needs to be one that's kind of old and sharp, one that's a medium cheddar cheese. Then after I've done cubed that, I go into my water that I'm going to be boiling my noodles in. This is another step you cannot forget to do. These are the bouillon, or however you say it, but the little, chicken, mix seasoning cubes that you stick in your water when you're making chicken noodle soup, that type of thing. I add some coarse sea salt to the water. I boil that until it's piping hot. Then we'll kind of throw in the noodles. The noodle brand is the only thing you can switch. You can totally switch the noodle brand. I would suggest using a small noodle, like a macaroni noodle, or these tiny little shell noodles. I wouldn't suggest a spaghetti noodle or even a penne noodle. They even had large shells. I chose not to do that because they just take a little too long to boil. You want them to almost be tender, like al dente, because then when you put them in the cheese sauce, they get even softer. So something tiny and hard will work better. Then I just put a good amount of butter, salted butter. That's gonna be something you can also substitute. I can't lie, you could put whatever salted butter that works for you, and you're gonna put your chopped onion into that melted butter, and then you're just gonna kind of saute those for 2 or 3 minutes, just until they kind of look like they've released some of their juice and it's kind of looking like they're translucent. After you're done that, you're definitely gonna turn your heat down a little lower, so maybe medium-low heat, and you're gonna open your cooking cream. That is the brand I like. I took a better video in the beginning of it. Basically, pour that whole carton in. I think it's around 350 milliliters, and you're just gonna let this combine with the cheese. It may take 4, 5, even 10 minutes for it to combine fully, so you just have to be patient with it. Chop the blocks of cheddar small enough that they will melt within 10 minutes, so maybe 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter size cubes, and you just want to start whisking it when it starts to look like it's melting. That'll make sure it's the smooth texture, and it kind of turns into a cream sauce. And just to be completely clear, keep the heat low, even lower it. You don't want to even see bubbling. That's boiling it. You want it to just be heating the cheese, melting the cheese. Sometimes if I see bubbles, I will take it off the burner fully and then put it back on. You want no bubbles, just a nice warm heat. And then as the cheese is actually melting, then you can kind of you don't have to turn the heat back up, but you can put it up to medium. So I'm going in here with salt, pepper, the regular stuff. I like this peppercorn triple or trio. It's really good from Longo's. It kind of just has every type of peppercorn you could imagine. Then I like to throw in a Cajun seasoning. The Keg one is the best. And do you see how it was bubbling there? I turned it down lower and I stirred it just to make sure none of the cheese is sticking to the bottom. And then I'll keep seasoning. I go back in with garlic powder. I also go in with the Slap Your Mama. You can't get this in Canada, but we somehow always bring it back when we go to the States. And then I like to whisk that. Make sure it's not burning the bottom. You gotta keep it on low. And then I just tasted it, felt like it needed more pepper. So those are kind of the seasonings that I use. I do not go crazy. It is just mac and cheese. You should taste Cajun, you should taste salt, seasoning salt, pepper, onion, garlic. That's what you should taste. I don't think you should taste any jerk seasoning. Don't put anything crazy in it, okay? Just regular basic salty goodness. And then I just kind of have a clip here of us draining the water. And I say us because my boyfriend did that because I hate steaming my face with noodle water. But anyways, after you're done that, you're just gonna kind of pour the noodles into the sauce, like as much as you think. I did a whole pack of noodles, so what I saw is that I could have used 3/4 of the bag, but I just keep the noodles for the next day. We'll probably use them in a stir fry or something. But basically, yeah, you just want to keep adding noodles until you get a good consistency. You want there to be lots of sauce, less noodles, lots of like room for it to cool down and stick to the noodles. I will have everything you needed listed in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next week.